Have you ever been curious about why we close our eyes in a yoga class? Have you ever heard that yoga is the fountain of youth? I am excited to bring these little bits of information to you so you can understand how and why the practice of yoga is so powerful for your health and longevity. I'm Tarish. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, welcome back to your virtual yoga studio. I'm Tarish. We're going to talk about some really fun introductory things that I didn't learn for a really long time, and they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool to understand the why we do these in our practice. I want to first talk about sitting. It sounds very simple. Let me just sit down. But I am a student of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work. Dr. Joe Dispenza got hit by a car back in the 80s in a triathlon, broke his spine in multiple places, and the doctors told him he was going to have multiple surgeries to even be able to walk again. Dr. Joe Dispenza at the time was a chiropractor, and he knew and understood what those doctors were saying. But there was something inside of him that said, the body can heal itself. He kept knowing this truth, the body can heal itself. So he used the power of his mind to heal himself with 0 surgeries. Dr. Joe Dispenza travels the world now and teaches the science of meditation. Not just how to meditate, but he teaches the science of this lost art of meditation. And why do I tell you this story? Because meditation is what yoga is all about. Now, a lot of people hear the word meditation and they completely shut down, and I get it, because it sounds kind of woo-woo and weird, or it sounds kind of, that's too out there for me. I just like to call it sitting. I'm sitting on 2 yoga blocks right now. See these things right here? They're kind of soft foam material. I'm sitting on those, but for Dr. Joe's work, when I went to a week-long meditation with him, I just sit in a chair. Some people lay on the floor, but I'm going to tell you why it's so important for the true practice of meditation or sitting. We have our sits bones grounded and we stack the spine and roll the shoulders back and down. The reason is because we are aligning the spinal column, which is where all of your energy centers are. You are a massive span of amazing energy. Positively charged, negatively charged. You're like a battery. The human body field is a battery that's flowing energy all the time. And our energy centers are aligned up through the spine. So stack the spine, lengthen through the side bodies, roll the shoulders back and down, aligns those energy centers so we can start to focus on energy flow, feeling and understanding where we have stuck points. But in the non-complicated talk, we sit to stack the spine. That's a lot easier. Sitting could be very uncomfortable, especially in the beginning of your yoga practice. I get it. In our Western world, you have the lazy boy recliner, you have all these bells and whistles of nice furniture and things, and it really makes us quite unstable in our core. It's more built for comfort, but not longevity of health. I had this massage client when I was in Seattle in 2018. She was like 75 years old or something, and she was a wonderful woman. And she said, I really want to get strong in my core. What exercises do you think I should do? I recommended the first, because of her age and because I was just able to understand where she was in her life. And going to the gym can be overwhelming for someone of her age. I just told her to stop sitting on her furniture, to start sitting on the floor and not use her chairs and love seats and couches, and she would ultimately start to get stronger by not using her furniture. She had reported back to me as I got to see her a few more times before I left the city. she told me that it was a great idea. Even at her age, in her 70s, she was pretty excited to learn how to sit on the floor, and to get up from the floor is a great exercise. Little sidetrack. In our yoga practice, if you practice with me, we're always going to start class in a comfortable seat. The reason that we sit in the beginning of your yoga practices with me is because we want to get the spine aligned and start to get that energy flowing through the body with awareness. Bringing the present, bringing your attention and awareness here in your energy center. Why? Because most of the day we're living somewhere else. We're living in the computer, we're living in the children's homework, we're living at the beach where it's sunny right now and there's probably waves and I'm not there. Or we're thinking about a vacation next week. We're thinking about, what am I going to cook for dinner tonight? I need to go to the grocery store and pick up ingredients. When we sit down to practice, ground the sits bones, stack the spine, we are becoming present right here in the here and now. That's why we sit, to become aware of here, because most of the time we're out there. Bringing our energy back, bringing our focus and awareness back to the most important place in the world, you. Secondly, breathing. Breathing is something that happens at a subconscious level. You never really have to tell yourself 24 hours a day to keep breathing. Just the same as you never have to tell yourself to keep your heart beating. It happens subconsciously. The source intelligence that keeps us all alive is keeping those things running like a well-oiled machine. However, let's just say you want to enhance your machine and make your machine last longer, stronger, and better throughout the years. You can start to incorporate breathing techniques that will help your nervous system heal you by being more into your parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic response is the rest, digest, and repair side of life. This happens when we are completely relaxed. Maybe we're lying out on the beach in the sun, or we're relaxing in a nice bed of pillows, or we're sitting out in the grass on a nice spring day. We're just completely and utterly non-stressed. Do you have many of those days in your life right now? If you allow yourself to even rest these days, the problem is we have a computer in our hands at all times that's keeping our nervous system fried and maxed out all of the time. And we go to bed and we're not even relaxed. I've noticed lately I've actually been having a bit of jaw clenching and stress while I'm sleeping. This was very normal and common in my military career, and I notice when I feel that coming on in my everyday life. The breath is the key. It's what ties your body and your soul together. So by breathing nice, slow, deep breaths, we're telling the body that it's safe, that it's not going to get attacked by a tiger or a saber or a dinosaur or a bear. But lately, the stress and attacks come from emails and notification dings and phone calls and to-do lists and intense traffic. All of those things are keeping our nervous system firing and wiring at a cortisol-producing level. So the practice of yoga brings us back to more a parasympathetic response where we can rest and repair and create healing in the body instead of creating more stress and inflammation. That's the breathing part of why we practice. Thirdly, you may hear the thing called focal point. Find a focal point, especially if you're doing balancing. But even if you're practicing yoga in your home and you're not standing on one leg, it may behoove you to put something at eye level so you can find that one piece to focus on during your practice. You can use a plant, you could use a sticker on the wall, you could use the corner of a window. You get the idea. Something that's not going to move could be a focal point, whether you're in a studio or in your home. And the reason you use a focal point is, again, when our focus and attention is scattered, our heart, our brain waves are all scattered. But the goal of our practice is to bring our energy back in to create cohesive energy flow and to create healing. So when our energy is scattered, our brain and heart waves are not going to be coherent. When we are focused and we have attention and our breathing is on, we're creating brain and heart coherence, which creates a healing response in the physical body. Next, let's talk about closing the eyes. Closing the eyes reserves one's energy. The eyes, believe it or not, through our eyesight, because we're constantly judging and evaluating everything, it's a survival mechanism. We're judging, we're looking, we're paying attention, we're like making sure that we're not going to get killed or a beast isn't coming to take our dinner. This is a very survivalistic part of being human, is the judgment and the complete expanded awareness. Unless you're my dad watching TV and then you don't know anything that's going on in the room. Anyways, closing our eyes reserves our energy. So when we get that energy flow and we bring all of our awareness here into our physical body, our energy field is flowing nice. We're bringing our awareness from the to-do list, from the kids' homework, from the conversation with Sally, from what are we doing later tonight? How am I going to feed the kids? Did I mow the yard? Is the laundry clean? Blah, 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 blah. We're bringing our energy back in here to us. The most important machine on the planet is your body and your energy. And when you close the eyes, you're also pulling that awareness back into here, because 80% of our energy we are using with our eyes. We're looking at colors, we're looking at shapes, we're looking at moving objects. So when you can close the eyes, bring the awareness internally, it creates more energy being used to heal you. Yes, I said heal you, because when your energy is out there looking at the color of the trees across the street or the shape out on the parking lot of the design, the paint, I'm not paying attention to here. I'm looking and evaluating. That's the reason for closing the eyes. We're literally learning to pull our energy back into us so that our body and our energy can get healing response. Yes, this is the fountain of youth. If you didn't know it, you are learning the fountain of youth through yoga. Isn't that exciting? We talked about what awareness is and your energy centers. Awareness is, what are you focusing on? And again, most of the time we're focused on our phone. We're focused on this cool YouTube video. I love YouTube. We're focused on a cool YouTube video. We're focused on buying the next thing. We're focused on what's the weather like. We're focused on what's her outfit like. What am I going to wear on my date tonight? All of those things. Or, what is my to-do list? How can I accomplish more? How can I be more? Do I need to read this book? Do I need to read that news article? Awareness is our attention, and our attention is everything. And where we place our attention is where we place our energy. So to heal, we must place our awareness and our attention on ourselves. Yoga is such a broad, expansive practice. And you may have just known yoga as down dogs and up dogs and touching your toes and finding flexibility. That's perfect. It is so good. There is so much that we're going to get to dive into in this phenomenal practice. I really look forward to continuing to share the science and the spirituality of this ancient practice that we can use for the rest of our lives called yoga. Thank you so much for your attention and your awareness during this video. I hope that this information will help you find your fountain of youth, recover your energy, and keep you enthused and vibrant in your body for a really long time.